Feel okay? All right, guys. Good. So stand up. Oh, yeah, stand up. It's all stand up. Yeah. Okay. So stay nice and straight, right? So for this session, guys, just breathe. That's it. Like I'm not gonna I'll keep reminding you, but find the breathing that's very comfortable for you. We're not gonna work specifically with breathing, but I just know that it should always be present. Okay. So start to kind of roll your neck a little bit, and at first just general circles, right, with your neck, and try to feel the muscles of the neck as you're moving them. You kind of feel them stretching. So don't go too fast where you can't feel them, but you're kind of moving your neck and you're feeling it. Now start to move your neck in such a way that you actually feel the spine, like you actually feel the vertebrae in the neck. So I'm really moving my neck a little bit more. I might hear a little bit of crunching, right? So I'm trying to get into the vertebrae, into the bones a little bit more than the muscles now. Very good. Now, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'm starting to move my neck in such a way where I don't feel my muscles of my neck or I feel the vertebrae. I just start to kind of see if my head can kind of float. So it really is very subtle, but I'm moving my head in such a way. I'll try to give you some kind of like like side profiles, but it's kind of like it can move like that or like that. Like you can either move sideways or it can move back and forth. So I'm trying to like not feel the spine and not feel my muscles. It's almost like my head is floating, but it's moving. And you can think of figure eights, you can think of circles, you can think of three-dimensional shapes. Some people like to think of their jaw, like your jaw moving in and out and left and right. I mean, whatever gets you to move your head softly. Now grab your hands and start to kind of massage those muscles around your neck, right? Try to kind of get into the throat, all those muscles just around the neck and maybe high up into the skull, up on the side, and just try to relax those muscles because maybe they got a little tight from moving your neck around. Now try moving your head again. It should hopefully feel a little bit lighter. So try to, think of the way people might push your head. Like they might push it from the side or push it from the back or push it from the front. You don't have to, but just the idea that your head is able to move if it feels any like a small contact on your face, right? Okay, shoulders now. So start to make circles with your shoulders. And again, think of nice circles, something that you feel into the muscles of the shoulder. So you're not feeling the bones, more the muscles. At the beginning, both shoulders are doing the same thing, right? And then later on, you can start to do one at a time, right? And I like to start with circles, but then I progress to like figure eights. So I try to draw like beside me the letter 8 with my shoulder. And you have the other one too, right? So you just imagine a pen here and you're just drawing the letter 8 on one side, then the letter 8 on the other side, or infinity symbol, whatever you want to, whatever floats your boat. And then really start to work with the shoulder and more like as it relates to the collarbone, the back of the scap. So you really feel the bones of the, so if you really put your shoulders forward, you should feel the collarbone, right? And then if you really push them back, you feel the shoulder blades on the back. So you're really trying to feel the bones of the shoulder, like the actual skeletal structure. So it really feels like you're being picked up like a puppet, right? So it's not into the muscles, it really is into the bones, right? So watch me guys, one shoulder, pick it up as high as you can to your ear. Relax your elbow, it's just your shoulder. And then as low as you can, like really make this as flat. And then as far forward as you can, and then as far backward as you can. Right? And you just think of that really feeling not just the muscles, but the bone itself, right? And the same on the other side. As far forward, as far back, as far up, as far down. And you really feel that, right? Good. Relax that. Now it's like you grab your sternum almost, and you stick it forward, right? So, and then you push it back. So just this middle part, inflate it as much, it goes out as much as you can, and then in. Out, in. Now it's easy to start thinking about the back, but I want you to focus on the sternum, this hard bone right here. You bring that forward a couple inches, you bring it back a couple inches. Then once you got this forward and back, I want you to start to kind of think of, again, that sternum like a pen, and you start to make a circle, right? Just think of it like there's a pen right out of it, and just start to draw circles. So it's not your shoulders, it's all right here in the middle of your chest. And then it's kind of like up and down. So it goes like that. So before it was going like this, now it's going like that. So it's like It's this part here. And you create like a wave that's up in the sternum area. Yeah. So it's out and up, down. It's like that. And you can go around. Now you're back, guys, right here between your shoulder blades, okay? So not your shoulders, but midway down your back, right? So you can push it up, pull it in, push it out, right? Pull it in, push it out, pull it in, push it out, pull it in. Put your hands like that. Now think of those shoulder blades. So behind you, the shoulder blades, you kind of pinch them and then open them. Pinch them and open them. Pinch them, open, pinch, open. And now start to kind of see if you can move your shoulder blades behind you. So I don't know, I usually do it like this, but I'm thinking about my shoulder blades. Maybe you'll see my chest moving, but I'm thinking about that Rub A535 commercial, you know, that from the old days, dating myself. But you start to think of your shoulder blades behind you playing. They're moving around up and down, left and right. Stomach, inhale. You're on the beach. You're at home. Big belly. In, out. Really let it hang out, guys. Don't be subconscious about it. Don't worry about it, right? Just us now. In, really suck it in. Out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Now kind of like 45 degrees, like not straight, but it's over here. It's like I suck it in on the side, let it out. So it's on this side now. In, it's like really on the angle and out. In, out, in, out. If it helps to touch it, you can do it. In, it's like from the side, right? And out, in, out, in, out, yeah. Out. Now low, so like belly button, lower than the belly button. In, like you lifting it up, out. So it's lower, you're below the belt line now. In, out, in, out. Now the hardest part, guys, is to try to imagine your stomach making like either a wave this way or a circle this way. Now, I know not everybody can do it, but I want you to try. Okay, so I'm not going to lift my shirt up. That's just going to be wrong. But but you want to think about your stomach turning. Okay, and you can go the other way too. But you're trying to contract and relax so you have a circle happening on the inside of your stomach, or a forward wave. So now move your head, move your shoulders, move your chest, move your back, move your stomach. So everything in this middle part is movable. Don't worry about your legs and arms yet. Just try to move like the ribs, the spine, and make sure that all that. Yeah, if you need to touch yourself, meaning to help you feel it, it's fine. But you're checking your body, your head, this spinal cord, that it's all able to be moved. That's it, Joe. That's it. Guys, when you start a movement, don't stop. Like you see me, it's like the moment I start to move my body, it didn't stop. It's in constant motion. Awesome, guys. Very good. Come close just for a second. Just unmute you guys so you can hear what I'm saying. Unmute. This is very quick version I just showed you of some of the stuff I get into my body. So we're talking about spinal health, like spine and your body, right? So if you look at all the movements I just did, if somebody were to grab me or somebody were to punch me or somebody were to try to cut me with a knife, my body is able to move. It's able to, on my command, move, okay? You see that, guys? Obviously, I hope you see that. You see all that, right? So this is just a start. What I would do, I know you guys probably don't have it, but I'm just going to share with you what I do, and then maybe you can do it yourself if you want to. But I've got one of these balls here, okay? These Swiss balls. I love these things. I don't use them in the traditional way people use it. I'm going to lay on top of it, and I want you to see how I'm training my body to be adaptive, let's say from a wrestling perspective. Like let's say if I'm wrestling or I want to study some wrestling aspects, so that maybe I'm going to go to class on Wednesday and we're going to study wrestling. So this is the way where you could practice contact and movement through the body. So not through my arms or through my legs. Just watch me for a second, okay? So it's like no arms or legs, and I start to kind of move myself, right? Now, my arms and my legs can touch the ground, but my body is what's contacting the ball. And I turn and I twist and I just try my hardest to move on the ball as smoothly as I can. Even practicing my rolls, right? Even practicing those things, I find incredibly beneficial. Okay, so we won't do it today, but at least you have an idea. Even if you pick up a medium or large, this is like a medium-sized Swiss ball, and just move on it with the body, what you're doing is you're training your body on impact to kind of be soft and supple and be able to take the shape of anything that you need. Okay, for modern warriors, we sit too much, and this becomes a problem. So this will start to move the spine. Like you see some of the positions my spine is in, right? For those of you that sit too much or spend a lot of time maybe slouched over, I highly recommend this position, right? And what you want to do is get to this bridge position. So if you look at me, it's like I'm in a bridge, right? A lot of people that you might meet won't be able to do a physical bridge. But with the ball, they're able to kind of take that shape and it will help their back out a lot. Does that make sense, guys? So really, I love this stuff. Like at home, it's even wonderful to sit on it while you do work because it fixes your posture. So a lot of people use it at home as a replacement for a chair because they feel they sit more upright. They can't slouch. They can't slouch in the ball, right? So I use this a lot if I'm practicing how to wrestle or how to understand wrestling aspects, because wrestling is contact on the body. It's not through the arms. Okay. You need to put weight on top of somebody with your body, and you save your arms and legs for some sort of choke or something. You don't use your arms and legs to move on the ground. Okay. Questions? It's okay. Okay. So let's move on. So keep that in mind. Okay. This is now the arms. Okay, we're going to start to work with the arms. Now, when you talk about arms, a lot of people jump to the wrists. Don't go to the wrists right away. Okay, start with your fingers. So start moving your fingers, right? And at the beginning, you move them and you just feel the muscles of the, so that's this way too, right? It's not just like that, but it's also like that way, right? Yeah, like, so the fingers can crisscross, right? Yeah. And then there's that. And this is all the muscles of my hand. That's all I want to feel. I don't want to feel the bones. I don't want to get it. The bones is next. Like if you want to do the bones, you make a fist or you open it or you really spread them apart and you feel the bones of the hand, right? Then, or you soften it and you feel the muscles, right? So this would be somebody playing, you know, a guitar or something or piano, right? Like you feel. And now I want to get into the bones. Like I want to feel my fists. I want to feel my hands open. I want to, you know, like really feel like everything, the bone as well as the muscle. And then if you can, try to move where you didn't feel the muscles or you didn't feel the bones, but they feel like they're floating out there. And this is the same thing you did with your neck. It's like you want to find a way of moving your neck, but didn't activate the muscles and didn't activate you didn't feel the spine. So you want to move your fingers in such a way that the bones disappear and the muscles don't fire as much. Okay. So you can kind of see it in different ways. Try this one, guys. Put your hands together. Put your hands together like this. And just start to make this movement here, like this kind of like S pattern. And see if you can feel that the bones disappear as much. Try not to do a rendition of what's it called? The musician Stevie Wonder. Don't do that. Just you're just moving your fingers, okay? And then see later if you can kind of move them in such a way that they feel like they're in water. You didn't feel anything, right? So this is important, guys. You need to know how to move yourself without activating muscles or tendons if you need, right? You ever floated in the ocean without, you know, without treading water? You're just floating. It's really nice very relaxing, right? And then now your wrist. So you get into your wrist, right? So I'm just moving to feel the muscles of my arm, just the muscles. And I can do with my hands open as well, right? It's also fine. And then if I make tighter fists or, you know, I'm going further, now I'm feeling the bones of the wrist, right? I'm actually feeling, I'm going further and I could feel, and there's really a lot of bones in the wrist, guys. You should feel it, right? Put your hands like this, guys. Put your hands like that. Okay. So like this, the two bones of the forearm are parallel, okay? The ulna and the radius. You have two bones in the forearm. And right now, palms up, they're parallel. When you turn them, they're crisscrossed like that, the two bones. The two bones are crossed. So like this, the bones are parallel. Like this, or like reverse, they're crisscrossed, the bones. You should feel that. You should feel that those two bones are, and if you don't believe me, just look on a skeleton and see it, right? You need to feel when your bones are moving, you should feel them, okay? Just like this, I feel it, right? If I go like that, I feel it. You should feel the two bones in the forearm rotating, right? If you can't, it's okay. I can help you with that. When I step on your arm, you'll see. Jill, you okay? Okay. So again, you can feel the muscles, or if you squeeze a little harder with your fist or your hands, you'll feel the bones. That's just how that works, right? And you're going to start to get into all kinds of things now, like the elbows, right? So you're getting into your elbows. Right? Again, think of circles. Think of circles first. Circles are easy for us to remember. And then later, we start to do like figure eights, right? Now, of course, this bone, the humerus, is connected to the shoulder. So but your focus is right here. It's like you have a pen, right, on your elbow. And any shape is fine. It can become forward, right? It can make circles. It can make figure eights, okay? Avoid this idea like you want to think of like using like an elbow strike. It's not an elbow strike, really. It's you understanding how to move your elbows. So now hands up like this, and you start to kind of rotate, right? And I think they call this, the name is called candy wrapper. Think of a candy wrapper, right? So you start to kind of, yeah, your one hand goes up and it looks like a candy wrapper. You twist yourself, and you should feel the muscles swirling in a straight line across you. Yeah, it's just it. Exactly like a straight line. And then try it like the Saturday Night Fever thing, right? So you roll it this way, and so it starts to change. Like you have a different angle. So if my wrist starts to change, it's like a candy wrapper. It goes in the opposite direction. So if one hand is up, one hand is down, it's the same thing. It's like it twists me. Awesome. Put your hands together. So stand up if you're not already stand up. And you start to make this kind of motion. It's almost like you're chopping, right? And because your body's moving well now, right? So your body's relaxed, your hands are together, and you just think of chop, chop. And it's this 45 degree, 45 degree, 45. So it's like the letter X, right? Remember to keep breathing all the time, guys. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now sideways. So it's like you've got a baseball bat. You're swinging it here, you're swinging it there. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you can go 45 degree. You can go straight up and straight down, just like a kettlebell if you had, right? Straight up, straight down. 45, 45. Straight across, straight across. Every angle possible. For me, this reminds me of like lumberjack, like cutting wood. It's very similar. The idea is that you should feel your entire upper body, guys, and for sure some of your legs. Yeah, think of chopping wood, think of those kind of things. Good. Put your hands together. So start to make circles. Small circle, very small. And then every time the circle grows bigger and bigger until it's as big as it could possibly go. And then you start the other direction. circle. Small circles that are progressively getting bigger and bigger and bigger, big as they possibly can go. Awesome, guys. Hands up. So your hands always facing up. Okay, so they're never down, they're never sideways, they're only facing up. Okay, and start to move your hands in as many possible positions and in as many possible ways, but your hands always facing up. Okay, look, guys, watch me for a sec. You can go even no matter how I work. Look, my hands always facing up. And just by focusing on my hands, look at how my whole body is moving. This is the inspiration. Your hands are up, but look at all the shapes my body can take. Okay? It's up. It's up. The hands are always pointing to the ceiling. Try it for a bit, guys. Try it. Both hands are working at the same time now. Yeah. It's a simple focus. That's it, Oleg. That's it. Yeah, that's it. What's funny is by focusing on your hands, your whole body's working. Think of your spine, your arms, your shoulders, your stomach, all those moves you just did that we just practiced are starting to come alive. Don't be afraid to move a little bit. Like you take a few steps and change your all the way around. If you have a light above you, that's really good. You should always have your hands pointed to the light. It's like always they're above you. Like they're always pointing up. You should feel that all the time. If it's possible where you are, you can go to the ground and do the same thing. You can move on the ground all the time with your hands pointing up. If you have it, if not, you can just do it from standing. Just keep your hands up to the ceiling and move in any direction.
I find it useful to put an object in my hand.
Yes, yes.
Something.
I was going to say, you could put like even little cups they would put with anything that's something, yeah, you have to point up 100%. 2 very expensive cell phones, maybe. Don't drop them.
For me, it's a shot glass with vodka.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you can drink it. There's a reward at the end. Jill, that's really, really good. Keep it up. That's very good. Just allow the body to relax even more. Your hands are relaxed, but body should follow suit. Yeah, and sometimes stand up. It didn't matter, guys. It's your choice. But for you, just look how your body is more able to change with you're focusing on something else. Awesome, guys. Very good. Come around. Really nice watching some of you take that drill. Ralph, very good. A small ball also works like a tennis ball or something with just a little bit of weight is really nice. But, or like Oleg said, anything in your hand that you don't want to spill or something. It's a great idea. But a little bit more. So again, in this case, I'm going to use 2 knives. It can be 2 small sticks. It can be any small weapon, 2 guns. I mean, it didn't really matter. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to move my arms as well, right? All around my body. And now, instead of thinking of my hands being up, these weapons are going to be in constant motion around me, okay? Now, at the beginning, don't move your body. So if you can see, it's like I'm using my weapons, but the main goal is not to touch, like don't clip yourself in the face. That's not good to do that, right? At least not from anybody that I've seen do good work, right? So it's like my hands are moving freely, and then very slowly, my body's going to start to kind of move. And if the knife comes towards my body, I need to be able to move it. So it's like I send my knife out and then I bring it back towards my body, right? I bring it back towards my face. So I study how to extend, and I also study on the back end how to move my body, right? So if the knife is coming towards my stomach, I study how to move my stomach. If the knife is coming towards my leg, I study how to move my leg. If the knife is coming towards my arm, I study how to move my arm. If it's coming towards my neck, I study how to move my neck. So very slowly, guys, it doesn't have to be fast. You have something like 2 pencils or 2, whatever it is you have, and start to move them around your body. And all the things I showed you, the body should be very, very soft. The arms should be very fluid. And you start to kind of work. Okay, try it. Let me help you out, guys. Try it. 2 knives or 2 pencils, or I mean, anything in your hand is fine. So remember, the body stays still to begin with, and everything moves around you. So don't touch yourself. You study exactly how to measure your body. And then if you feel comfortable, you start to direct those weapons towards the body and move it out of the way. Guys, feel very free. This is not fighting. This is just a practice that will prepare you for martial arts. It's a preparatory work. It's not in and of itself anything but to prepare you for a class that maybe you're going to do knife fighting. And you'll feel more comfortable with it in your hand and more comfortable when it comes at you. If you want to close your eyes, close your eyes. If you want to open them, anything is fine. So remember the 2 ways I showed you. You can work, or 3 ways. You can work through the muscles. You can work through the bones, right? Or you can work in such a way where you didn't feel the bones or the muscles, just very light. It's like your body's moving, but you didn't feel anything. Nice, Miro, nice. So Miro, the exact same work, but now try not to feel your muscles, try not to feel your bones. Just allow those 2 things in your hand to kind of float out there. It'll feel a little bit different. It looks a little bit different now to watch you. Jaker, try relax your shoulders, man. Not all the movements start from the shoulder, kind of from the chest or from the body. Guys, come around quickly just for a quick second, just explain some stuff. So anytime there's a weapon involved, I don't care if it's a knife or a gun, it could even be a steering wheel of a car. If once it goes, speed picks up, you find that your shoulders also come up. They start to, because the fear starts to increase. So when there's fear, the shoulders come up. When I have a knife in my hand, okay, if I start to do a lot of this, it's very shoulder oriented. If I start to move, look what I move first. First I move with my chest, then I move with my arm. First I move with my chest, then I move with my arm. Watch the knife coming at me. So the knife's coming at my chest. First I move with my leg, then I move with my chest. Like, don't just move through the shoulders. Everything is not through the shoulders. I can move through my stomach. I can move through my chest. I can even move through my back. Right? So where I decide to move from is completely up to me. Like, I don't just move through my shoulders, because if it's one piece of advice, shoulders are our biggest nemesis. They are our problems, and keep a close eye on them. They will engage more times than you could imagine. Relax your shoulders, relax yourself. They go together, okay? So if you're using the knife, don't tense up that shoulder. Keep that shoulder light and generate the movement from the sternum, from the chest, or from the stomach. It's a much better source. It's less source of fear from this spot, okay? Try it. A couple of minutes, just try it. Move those knives around the body, but not through the shoulder. Don't let the shoulder steal the show. Yeah, Jake, for you, the hips and the shoulders, and then the knife follows. Hips and shoulders, then the knife follows. Nice, Tom. Nice.
I find it really challenging to not go shoulder first. It's so
It is.
interesting.
So,
It's almost paralyzing.
so the shoulders, I'm telling you, not just from Systema, when I talk to doctors and orthopedic surgeons, they'll tell you that the knees and the shoulders are very unstable. And the problem is that they have a connection to us, which is based on fear, and then fear makes them tense, and that's why they get injured so much. So really, really spend time on them. Now, I do it in different ways. Guys, come around, because Jill has a good question. So the shoulders is really difficult. It was my personal problem for Systema. That's why I know it so well. So let me give you another way of solving this, okay? Or maybe a way to look at it. I would use a stick, Jill, okay? And this is just a Home Depot long dowel, $6.50. The price is still on it. And it's right, I didn't get it specially made. They sell these in bulk, okay? Pick it up. What I do first is grab it at the furthest ends, and I start to kind of move my shoulders, okay? So I create this constant motion. So it's like a kayak thing, right? Around my body thing, up and down thing, backwards and forwards. Now, I'll show you what I do. So at the beginning, I grab it at its furthest point, maybe even further. Like I even go a little bit past it, okay? But as my shoulders get more flexible, or as they start to relax, I start to bring my hand in tighter and tighter. So what happens is now, obviously, I can't move through this range. So I'm going to try find that place right there that I got through, right? Now, I thought I was pretty unique. I don't know why, but we think we figured out something special about something. But I recently started following this gymnastics guy because I want to understand new movement from a different perspective than martial artists. And he had a really simple gauge of flexibility that he used all his gymnasts to do, Joe. So it looked a little something like this. He made them grab a bar behind them, and the thumbs were pointed in. So my thumbs, they're not out, they're in, okay? And his idea was you have to be able to get your shoulders to parallel, okay? If you couldn't get your shoulders to parallel, you're gonna have a problem doing some of the gymnastics rings, okay? That was a flexibility thing. So I practice this a lot, the backwards one. Okay, thumbs out and thumbs in. okay? So don't forget about behind you, behind your back, right? And the broomstick works perfect, Joe. And you could sweep after. Okay, come close, guys. Another one I want to show you just quickly. Yeah, you're sweeping. That's awesome. So then what I would do is I would grab the top thumbs down and the back thumbs down. So my thumb is pointing down over here and my thumb on top is pointing down. And I would start to pull, and so I would do these like kind of like motions through my shoulders, right? And what I found is the more time I spent stretching my shoulders in unusual positions, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, or when you watch it back, I'm pulling it up on the back end, I'm pulling it backwards on the front end and sideways. And then what I found was the more that I spent time on stretching my shoulders, I was much more able to keep them relaxed when I needed them. So what I think is tight shoulders might be, what I think what you're feeling is maybe some tight shoulders. If you can relax them a little bit, it would help a great deal, okay? So that's just kind of one of the ways I do it. How does that feel, guys? You can do it with that as well, Tom. Yeah. So if everybody sees what Tom is doing, he's got this like rubber band. That one looks a little soft to me, but you can buy them where they're super tight, okay? And what I like about that is it's got a little bit of give. So at that tough part, you can move it a little bit, right? It's pretty good for that range. Yeah, or a rope. Oh, like, yeah, a rope is even good too. Yes. Yeah, that Jake, that's a good one. The one you got there, that's that's a higher density. Oleg's using a rope, which I like too as well. I do it a little bit more for archery, but a rope is priceless. You can get that cheap and you can wind it up in your hand and do almost anything with it, right? Again, think about this. Tomorrow, when you're in Systema class and you're in that awkward wrestling position, you're now more apt to be able to get out of that. Or if you like to punch, you're a little bit more flexible and you have these different punches that you can possibly do, right? So you're really working with a practice that will prepare you for a Systema class or Systema training. This is really good to do before class, on a day off, on a day that you're not coming to train, right? Joe, those look good. Those bands look pretty good. Mm-hmm. If you have those yoga straps, are good. They're really good. I like those things. They're pretty solid too. Awesome, guys. Good. You got it. Now, the last thing I'm going to show you that's part of like my repertoire that way is again with the ball. Okay. I'm just going to show it up on the wall, but I put the ball on the wall and what I'm doing is I place my hand on it. So I can see it. I place the ball on the wall and I place my hand on it. And what I start to do is I move around and I have to hold the ball on the wall with my forearm, my elbows, my fists, right? So much like what I did on the ground with my body, I use the wall and I'm pinning the ball and the wall with my arm. And it can be flat of my hand. It can be a fist. It can be the elbow. It can be the upper arm. Yes, Joe, exactly. That ball will work too. So if you actually look at what's happening, you're really starting to move in relation to another object that you're contacting, which is exactly what happens when you're studying grab and escapes. Somebody starts to grab you. They put a pressure on you like you're applying that ball that Jill has there. And you're studying how to move your body around that pressure. This is all the fundamentals of Systema, guys. It really is right there. Oleg, what's that, a soccer ball? Yeah, those are good too. Those are good as well, smaller. Come close, guys, come close. Sorry, we're now running out of time, but I wanna give you guys a chance to maybe talk to me a little bit. I don't wanna just ramble on with all the stuff I do. How did it feel? How did it feel? Jaker?
A lot of that stuff, like my physiotherapist has me doing a lot of stuff with the band down for my shoulders. I find it's a big help.
So remember what I told you guys. What is the order if you want to study? When you train, hey Adam, when you train, the first thing your training should do is heal you, right? So if I'm an athlete and I go to practice, I don't know about your practices, Jake, but my football practice, rugby practice, it killed me. I was so tired. I was beat up, and the games were on the weekends. I was exhausted. Your practice has to heal you first and prepare you for the game. So it has to do both. If you look at what you did, this is healing work as well as preparatory work for maybe a tomorrow a good Systema class, or for Jill, maybe her yoga class, or for somebody who's doing something else, it prepares you for something else, right? Because you didn't study a set of moves, you studied movement. That's what's important. You studied everything. So you go to class tomorrow and I teach grab and escape, you're ready. I teach weapon work, you're ready. You're ready. You're ready. Like it just covers so many boxes, right? Anybody else, guys? How was it?
It was really good, Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing. I found that in that 1 hour, it certainly pointed out some stiff areas for me. And just by changing materials that we work with, it allows me to, if I can't go to the extreme, I can then work towards it. So thank you very much. This tape is going to be, or the recording is going to be valuable.
Yes. No, and I actually had something else planned. I'm gonna show you guys the lower half Wednesday, but there's just too much material, guys. Like the hips, the knees, and the ankles are our biggest problem. Most of us have our problems with low back, knees, and that. So please try tuning in on Wednesday. I'll show you. We'll go from the waist down after that. Okay, and we'll talk about those kind of things. And
Manny, to add to Tom's point,
Yeah.
one thing I find is that through the class today, I realized how dedicating more time to each joint is valuable. The return on investment is like manyfold. I do it, but not enough, right? So spending a bit more time on the neck and on the shoulder. Once you already got going, spending a few more minutes on the same joint is so much more valuable than moving on to the next joint.
Very well said, Joe. Just remember, guys, if it's another thing that you get out of this is that I can move my muscles. So I can move in such a way I feel my muscles. I can move in such a way I feel my bones. Like I'm grabbing tighter, so I feel my bones. And then I can move in such a way where I don't feel anything. This is really important. I can move in, physical, muscular way. I can move like through my muscles, and I can move almost floating through the air. And if you don't believe me, watch some of those great early 50s dancers like Fred Astaire. And oh my God, guys, they're beautiful to watch. They don't even look like they're touching the ground. If you've ever had a chance to watch a marathon runner, a real marathon runner, not a guy that's like me, a real marathon, a person that's trying to win it, they don't even look like they're touching the ground. Okay. They look like they're on a cloud. I had a chance to watch swimmers in the water, Olympic level swimmers when I was very young, high university age. They were going through the water, guys, like torpedoes. It was so streamlined. They made no noise and they just literally cut through the water. It was beautiful to watch. Okay. At a higher level, we want to move without too much disturbance to the environment around us or ourselves, if you can, right? Because it's efficient. That's why. Not because I said so, but because it's efficient. That's what has to rule the day. Efficiency, right? If you're efficient, you can do it again and for much longer, right? So I highly encourage you to do that. So remember, muscles, bones, and then almost a floating feeling is really the higher level of it all. And like Oleg said, each joint, you can never spend enough time on it, guys. Never, ever spend enough. And each joint is related to the other joint. They're not separate. You're treating them, but they're connected. And I can explain to you tons of stories, but I actually had for those of you guys that know Ray, he's one of the trainers for the Raptors. He one time spent 15 minutes, Oleg, on my big toe. He took my big toe and just started moving it and twisting it. And I thought, at first I said, Ray, I told you my back is bugging me. Like, I don't know what you're doing on my big toe. And he stayed there for like 20 minutes. It blew me away, right? It absolutely blew me away. So I can't stress it enough. After he finished 15 minutes on my big toe, a pain in my back was almost gone. I was really amazed. He said, majority of lower waist injuries stems from the feet and from the toe area, specifically the big toe, specifically. So something to think about. Wednesday, we do lower body, all right? Thank you, guys. I'll post this soon. So good to see everybody, okay? Be well. I'll see you all Wednesday.
Thank
online.
you.
Bye,
Thank you.
guys. Have a good
Have a nice day.
day.
Bye.
Guys, bye.
Bye, everyone.